On today's Q&A video, we'll be looking at who is actually stronger, Count Dooku or Darth Maul. It'd be an interesting fight because they're both different fighting styles. Count Dooku likes these finesse, he likes to take his time with his lightsabers, battles and his duels, whereas Maul's right in there doing flips and stuff, so it would be quite an interesting fight. Whether or not a clone trooper or a stormtrooper TV series would be awesome, how would it actually work? I'd do live action as well, because imagine their costumes, how awesome it would be. They could get help from the 501st Legion, they could have all these cool armor sets and stuff like that, and yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. You could get Tim Ware or Morrison back for that as well. And also the funny story behind our engagement and what went wrong and what went alright and the whole fiasco,
the whole shenanigans
that happened with that. And it all begins right now. So welcome everyone, we are reporting in. We are doing a video from a different location, so we're still trying to see if the mic sounds alright. If it sounds dodgy, it'll be better for the next Q&A video we do, hopefully. But yeah, where are we?
We're actually in Amsterdam, which is famous specifically for its fish and chips.
So it's lovely, bubbly, scrumptious fish and chips.
Crispy batter and...
Although we've not tried it
not
yet.
even tried it, but we're assuming it's going to be top notch, since
a list.
people actually come from all over to try the fish and chips here. But yeah, we're on a little 3-night stay, just us two, and yeah,
we figured out how the heating works, so we're on to a winner.
I think I had a wee fiddle about it there, and it doesn't sound like it's on yet, so we'll see. We'll just freeze.
I hope
otherwise.
we're in focus as well. Are we in focus? Oh, yeah, looks okay. Oh, there's my face. Yeah, mum. My mum doesn't watch.
No, come and sit back down.
So yeah, you can tell we've not done a Q&A for kind of new to us, but it might be a weekly thing. Also, we're thinking about doing sort of let's plays, like playthroughs of Star Wars games, particularly the Lego ones. I think they'd be pretty cool. But if you'd like to see us play through some Star Wars games, let us know which ones you'd like us to do,
and if you'd actually like us to do it at all, I guess.
If you think we're actually worthy enough of your views. But yeah, in today's question and answers video, we sort of highlighted what we were talking about, but yeah, it should be pretty awesome. We've got a lot of questions, a lot of really good questions as well. From
some are actually about us, and some are Star Wars related.
Yes.
So we'll get the decent, Star Wars ones out the way first, and then if you are actually interested in us,
get into the meat and potatoes.
Get into the meat and potatoes of our relationship, then stay tuned. If not, then I guess we'll catch you some other time.
So our first question here comes from not Sam, but the Sam.
The Sam. Oh,
yeah.
Powerful name there.
Just spat on my phone. Which Star Wars character do you guys sympathize with the most in the Star Wars universe? So who do you feel bad for?
I feel bad.
Star Wars?
To spoil a kind of next question, well, one of the, what's the word? The following questions. Forthcoming, that's a good word. We'll go with
synonyms for next.
Just on the slide, just to kind of spoil one of the forthcoming questions.
I like that word. Oh, forthcoming.
Oh.
I do like good word choice. See when someone cracks out a word.
You should see him when he's trying to write scripts. He's pure like.
Oh, I help the synonyms.
The thesaurus is out, and
I cannot have two words in the same paragraph. Like, you know what I mean? If they
in English at school, you're like, this shows this, and I was like, no, this conveys, this depicts, this portrays.
That is.
Moving on.
Anyway, with the question, sympathize with you.
Sympathize. My favourite character is actually Chewbacca. Oh, what are you doing?
I was just thinking with the word choice.
Okay. My favourite character is Chewbacca, and I kind of feel really sad for him sometimes because his best friend dies, and he gets encased in carbonite and he's pure upset, and he's so loyal, and like I feel like he gets forced into doing stuff that he doesn't really want to do, and when he's sad you just totally hear it in his wee wails, and it's just like, oh, my Chewie, oh, it just makes my heart melt. And when I just feel like he's so, like, he's that loyal that he gets roped into doing stuff he doesn't want to do, and when he's sad, you know he's sad, you can totally feel it in your heart, and he's just so cute, and it just hits you right in there.
The saddest part was when Han, I always say his name wrong, Han Solo is when he gets killed in The Force Awakens, spoiler alert by the way, and he gets thrown off the side of, you notice there's no railings in Star Wars, there's no health and safety.
It is poor.
It is awful. Starkiller Base, like, that
site should have been shut down.
It should have been shut down. But yeah, when he gets killed, Chewbacca's sad cry is touching the feels, doesn't it?
It gets you right in the heart, by the way. And the fact he's lost his best friend that he's been, you know, with for like years and years, and you could tell he totally loves him, not in like a loves him way, but you could tell he totally loves him as like one of his best pals and his allies, and it just it just makes me so sad because he's just such a wee cutie all at the same time. The
character that I sympathise with, although he's one of the more annoying characters, and that's C-3PO. He's always worried about stuff, he's always whining, he's always just being a bit of a pain, you can say. But I feel bad for him because he's always getting roped into stuff that is very dangerous, and he's clearly doesn't want to be there. Like, he's in asteroid fields, he's getting shot by stormtroopers, he's going through all this tough stuff, you know what I mean? And yeah, I feel kind of bad for him in that sense. So C-3PO, Chewbacca.
Notice how they're both getting roped into doing stuff that they're like really not up for, isn't it? Oh, shame.
Yeah, peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
It exists in Star Wars, clearly.
Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Our second question here comes from a name I'm going to pronounce correctly and not butcher. Take one. Max Karazverta. Max Karazverta. Max Karazverta. So nailed it first time. Anyway, he asks, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I have, yeah, it's a good tale. So.
I have not.
Yeah, I've heard it, but not from Disney. They'll get that. They'll understand. That's funny if you like Star Wars and stuff. It's quite humorous.
Alrighty, I'll take your word for it. You just spat.
Keep spitting.
Yourself.
What was it you say about actually spitting you?
I'm like, eyes for the news, not the weather.
Our next question comes from Peppa Pig 420. So apparently Peppa Pig's a stoner now. Well, that does happen with like child actors and stuff, eh? They go off the rails a bit. Yeah. Peppa Pig. Anyway, I guess who is your favourite Star Wars character? You kind of hinted at this earlier, didn't you?
I didn't just hint that outwardly, stated it. Mine's is Chewbacca. I think he's adorable.
I need to take a drink, but we're not paid to display this, so... That is dreadful. Oh, so good. So good though. It's really bad though.
Anyway, my favourite character is Chewbacca from...
Forthcoming.
From the previous question. Anyway, because I think he's so loyal, and I think for being a big scary Wookiee...
I'm kind of getting phoned. Just ignore it. I'm getting phoned.
By your mum, no less.
Yeah, that's quite bad. I'm just text back recording.
Anyway, because
she must have seen me at the start of the video. I was like, hey, mum.
He's a big gentle giant, and he's just a real sweetheart, very, very loyal, and I just love that about him. I think he's honestly just one of the really sweet character. Melts my heart a little bit.
And as for my favourite character, I've kind of already said this before, but I am a sucker for Jar Jar Binks. Mr. Jar Jar Binks, oh, Mr. Big Toto this time. That's what he talks, right?
I know that's how he talks. That's why no one likes him.
No, but in all seriousness, my favourite character. My favourite Jedi is actually Qui-Gon. I used to hate Qui-Gon, but I recently rewatched The Phantom Menace because I've got a series sort of idea planned.
That wasn't actually the question.
No, but I'm trying to pad it out,
okay.
Insert adverts and stuff, you know what I mean? No, Jim. Qui-Gon is my favourite Jedi. I recently rewatched The Phantom Menace for some reason. No, it's for a series I'm trying to do it, and I actually quite like him now. So, but anyway, I'm just answering everything but the question. My favourite Star Wars character is Emperor Palpatine. Not because he's evil, as in bad, as in destroys planets, kills Jedi by the thousands. It's just would not let him babysit. Just whoa, bad guy. Whoa, no, disgusting.
All of these synonyms again coming out. Can we just add thesaurus under the table? Just like through that.
But the real reason I like him so much is because how funny he thinks his evil is, if you know what I mean. He does these evil things and he's pure hee-hawing. He's actual knee slapping pretty much. Does he have knees? He's probably just like a floating, you know, is he just
floating robe.
On Star Wars Battlefront, I love how he just floats about. He's like a T-Rex. Oh, dark side of the nose. But yeah, I love how evil he is and how much he loves his evil. For example, in Revenge of the Sith, when he's walking up to Yoda, he's like, my little green friend. And he's all shooting lightning and stuff. And he actually laughs at how evil he is. He's like,
it's more like...
Oh, it's so funny.
He's the kind of guy who's like, you know, leaves a cap off the milk for all like the people who work for him, you know, they're gasping for a cup of tea and they go in the fridge and the cap's off the milk and it's gone all fusty and he's peering the corner like
he just crop dusts and Darth Vader's walking through it, he's getting fecal matter in his air filtration system and he's like
and you're like puts oil on the top step of the flight of stairs so everyone goes skiting all the way down there and he's at the top like if you're loving all these wee evil deeds in that.
And by saying he's my favourite character, I'm now available to do impressions as if I've not already been doing that. But yeah, I like drunk Palpatine. Like, he doesn't actually listen, isn't a thing, but I just love doing impressions of Palpatine when he's drunk, like oh yeah, give it pizza too.
Pizza too.
Our next question comes from someone that's asked me questions before and I'm sure suggested videos as well, so thanks for your support. It does mean a lot. It doesn't mean though I won't butcher your name. So this question,
how many takes it's this time?
This question comes from John Castanos. That was
oh, that's one take. I'll give you that. That's good.
And he asks, who do you believe is more powerful, Dooku or Maul? And he's talking about Darth Maul, not like a shopping mall.
I did get that. Thank you for the. Do you think I'm done?
No.
Good answer. Good question. So, I am done. I'm not really.
Who is more powerful, Dooku or Darth Maul?
I think that's really tough to weigh up because they both excel in different ways. Like, isn't Dooku can shoot lightning and that?
Oh, I know someone that can shoot lightning. That was my crop dust.
That was my crop dust. You know, yeah, I think that's difficult to answer.
Personally, you could argue either or. If someone's like Maul, then you're like, fair enough. If someone's like Dooku, you're like, fair enough as well. My gut instinct, although he never survived decapitation, unlike Maul who got cut in half, although getting your head chopped off is a slightly different ball game, I guess.
I think getting cut in half any part of your body, whatever part comes off, that sounds no good. Bleed out and everything.
I'd probably say Dooku. Dooku gives Yoda a run for his money, doesn't he? Although he has to make a beeline, he has to escape from Yoda. He has to distract him to get away pretty much by giving him an ultimatum, like, you either let Anakin and ObiWan get crushed or you keep fighting me. So Yeah, I think, you know, he gave Yoda a run for his money. He was just really powerful in general, and I do think that he did kind of get his ass kicked by Anakin, but Anakin was pretty powerful in his own right. I think Anakin would probably have been able to kill Maul as a result as well. It'd be an interesting fight because they're both different fighting styles. Count Dooku likes these finesse, this, like, you know, he likes to take his time with his lightsabers, battles and his duels, whereas Maul's right in there doing flips and stuff, so it would be quite an interesting fight. I'd personally go Dooku. Do you want to go Maul just to mix us up a bit?
Just some rivalry
yeah,
in
just
here.
so we cover all our bases. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
But yeah, it's an interesting question, and I'm sure we could have a pretty cool debate actually.
Why don't you let us know in the comments below what you think? Who you think's more powerful, Dooku and Maul? We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe put a poll on the end of this.
Poll.
A poll.
Yeah, I personally think Dooku would. I think he's slightly more powerful. I'm not basing this off research or anything. I've not, you know, studied profusely or anything. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. Our next question, oh jeez, it actually comes from Darth Plagueis. Was I being rude to him earlier when I was like the sword? I don't think I was.
No, I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
Don't want to get killed by Darth.
Even if you were, just, you know, no disrespect against
to the fallen Darth Plagueis. So he asks two questions here: favourite and least favourite planet. Do you want to tackle that?
I absolutely can't tackle that. I do not have enough knowledge to tackle that question. I really don't. I'm not even going to try and embarrass myself.
What planets do you remember from Star Wars? Hoth. That's no one's favourite planet. It's freezing. And it's cold.
Coruscant?
Coruscant.
Is that a planet? But Otogunga's not a planet, is it? No, that's in Coruscant.
That's on Naboo.
On Naboo. Yeah. Naboo, I remember that one.
Do you like Naboo?
It's alright.
Naboo's a lovely planet actually. It's got lakes, it's got loads of greenery.
But they've got all like the spooky animal, like fish in the planet's core and that.
Yeah, if you avoid the planet's core,
then it's generally
it's just
alright.
It's just like Scotland, for example. It's really nice. Just avoid certain areas.
Like the Highlands. Like the Highlands are lovely, but you're right up in the Highlands. Weather's shocking. There's like nothing really there, is there?
And avoid Anstruther. I'm trying to save all the fish and chips for ourselves.
Right, no, Anstruther's
it's really bad.
Lovely. Please visit.
Fish what? Oh, go get all the fish and chips.
It's because they have a harbour here, so like literally everything's like fresh.
Yeah,
fresh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My nickname in high school, Fresh.
So wasn't. So clean. Ain't nobody know about me. I'm just so fresh and clean. So fresh and so clean.
So
I'll go with Naboo.
Your favourite planet's Naboo? I can't argue with that. Least favourite planet?
Probably Hoth, because that's one of the only ones I know that aren't great.
One of my least favourite planets is Mustafar, mainly due to the fact you wouldn't want to visit there. You wouldn't be like, oh yeah, getting rained on by lava. Yeah. Get on my body.
Get on my body.
Sounds painful. Although it is quite a cool planet, you know, just seeing the aesthetics of it.
Maybe from afar though it's quite nice.
Maybe from Mustafar.
Knee slaps. Crickets. I should probably put crickets. I'm doing my edge on cricket noises. That'd be hilarious. Okay, anyway.
But I think my least favourite planet, if I had to just do like an aesthetic point of view, is probably Felucia. I'm not a big fan of Felucia. I hope I don't offend any people that are pro Felucia or something. It's because it's like covered in giant mushrooms and stuff. It's just the colours, even on colour.
Mustafar was your least favourite.
No, I'm saying like I only picked Mustafar because it like rains.
Oh right, okay.
So,
right.
Like if I'm being like, you know, serious about it, like probably Felucia because it's covered in like just all this like. I'm not a fun guy myself. It's all these mushrooms, and I don't particularly like the look of the planet. Is essentially it, which I think this is basically what the question's asking.
Right, so it's not aesthetically pleasing for you.
No, my favourite, Coruscant's probably is Coruscant. I just love the fact this giant city, and you can see it all lit up from space, and it's just always busy, and it's pretty cool aesthetic. So probably Coruscant, and then Felucia. Boo.
Not to rub it into anyone who enjoys that planet, I guess, but you know.
Yeah. Our second question from Darth Plagueis himself is, if we could be a species in Star Wars, which species would it be?
I wouldn't be really boring here. I'm so sorry to, be really boring, but a human sounds pretty good to me.
I
would probably just stay human. I don't mind being a human. It's done me proud so far, I guess. It's done me. I've enjoyed it for almost 21 years. We'll go with that. Yeah, human.
Yeah, to be boring, I quite fancy being a human. It's quite good. Quite enjoy it. It was the same. Like I got asked a question a few months back, and it was like, which occupation would you be in Star Wars? And I think I just chose something boring, like a politician or something, because imagine being like a Jedi or a bounty hunter. The chances of you dying are quite
pretty high.
In a galaxy that's like ravaged by war and by corruption and criminality and stuff, you could die very easily. So as someone that quite likes living, and someone that quite likes like being a human.
Can just be like a supermarket, like a cashier or something.
A cashier.
That's a pretty safe job.
Depends what planet. Not Mustafar. Don't want to be a cashier at Mustafar.
Yeah. Well, just like a generic boring job as generic boring humans. That sounds pretty good to me. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'll take a boring life.
So that we can, live longer, I guess.
Yeah.
So we actually can live life, I guess.
I bet people are so disappointed. They're like,
you could have chosen all
cool.
this and all that.
You could be a Zabrak with black and red tattoos and stuff like that. But no. I'll tell you what though. Cormaians. Yariel Poof was a Cormaian. The guy with massive long neck.
Yeah.
Why would you want a massive long neck like that? I would not be a Cormaian, that's for sure.
Imagine getting through doorways. You're having to do the limbo and that just to get through.
Although dancing would be incredible. Your head could be over there, your shoulders could be over there, different rooms at the same time. Imagine how creepy that would be. Like you just see around the corner his head just popping out. And it doesn't seem practical. Lightsaber duels, the Sith clearly know just target his neck. Just target, he'll die. Also, where does he wear a tie? At the top or at the bottom of his neck? His giant neck. I feel like the bottom would because you'd have your suit anyway. I feel like it's a question no one really.
I feel like it was. We're just totally straight.
Would you have it at the top though, the tie?
I would maybe somewhere in the middle. You know how chokers are in fashion right now, the chokers that you can have something in between and be like, I look fine and I know it.
I look fresh.
I look fresh and so clean.
clean.
Oh dear.
Our next question comes from SW Nerd 2188, and he asks, "What's your fiance's name?" Did I have mentioned your name so far at all?
I don't think so. Not that I can recall. Shocking. Anyway,
that's quite bad.
We'll just do it now, I guess, since the opportunity has arisen.
Arose.
Is that
it? Has.
Is it arisen not a word?
Yeah, they're both words. I don't know. English is weird. I don't understand it.
So we'd like to be humans, but just not English-speaking humans, apparently.
So your name is?
My name is actually Courtney. It's not Charlene. Contrary to popular belief
from the Star Wars advent
calendar. No, my name's actually Courtney. It's a bit boring, It's not the best name, but
you realise your mum might be watching this right now.
Hi, Mum. Could have given me a better name, but we'll just,
Is that not major offence? Did you know about that?
Do you know I'm not a big fan of my name?
Oh really?
I think so. Yeah, it's just it's better than I don't know.
Matthew.
Oh no, your name's nice. I like your name, but that's more of a masculine name.
Well, if you could pick a name, what would you call yourself?
If I could pick a name, when I was younger, I always used to want to call myself Madison, and I don't know why, but I quite like the name Harriet. I think I suit Harriet. Do you not think? Harriet?
It's very you'd have to be a lawyer or a doctor or something.
Or maybe a scientist.
A scientist.
Yeah.
No one from where we're from is called Harriet. You know what I mean? That's Harvard level.
That's Oxford and
that's
Cambridge and... No, it's not. It's just a name. I think Harriet's quite nice. Anyway, Courtney will do, I guess.
Our next question from a name I will butcher again. Why do people have such difficult names?
Let's count how many takes it takes on this time.
Nicholas Thibodeau. Nicholas you have Thibodeau. I think it's French, right? Thibodeau. Anyway, he asks, do you think a standalone trooper series, I'm assuming either a clone or stormtrooper, would be successful? And if so, what would be an appropriate way to go about it? I personally think it would be successful because you look at the success of the Clone Wars series, and why did people love that so much? Because of the clones. It's kind of in the name. What was so great about it is it humanised clone troopers, because before that point you see clone troopers, you see stormtroopers, they're just nameless, faceless people behind all white armour, and you don't know anything about them, you don't get to know them, they're not human, is a sense. George Lucas basically made it so we don't care about them when they die. We don't learn anything about them, you know, let's forget about them. But what the Clone Wars series did so well is it humanised these troopers, and it gave us personalities. Each one was different, and we grew to love them, we grew to love their characters. Some people's favourite characters now are clone troopers as a result, like Captain Rex, Commander Cody, and so on. So I think a trooper series, regardless of whether it's clone trooper or stormtrooper, would be very successful and would do quite well. I would probably prefer it in the clone era, because I just find stormtroopers don't have as much freedom as clones and stuff like that. Even though, like, in the First Order stormtroopers, we've seen Finn break away, and we've seen stormtroopers do have personality and stuff. So I think you'd have more creative freedom with the clone side of things. So I think a clone series like that, I'd do live action as well, because imagine their costumes, how awesome it would be. They could get help from the 501st Legion, they could have all these cool armour sets and stuff like that, and yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. You could get Tim Morrison back for that as well. He was the guy that played Jango Fett, played all the clone troopers and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it would be quite cool. How we'd go about it, similar to the Clone Wars, you could have maybe like a Game of Thrones thing as well. You have all these different storylines going on at the same time, all these, because you'd want to highlight each clone, so you'd have all these different clones that you'd cover and stuff like that. So yeah, you could cover upwards of like 20 or something like that. They all have their different storylines going on at the same time. I think that'd be a really interesting series, and yeah, let us know if you agree with that, and what era you choose as well. What do you think? Do you have any say in this at all?
I didn't really get a word in edgeways, did I? No, okay, no, it's fine. Yeah, I'll let you take that one.
Fair enough. Our next question comes from Twitter, actually, because we've got a fair few questions actually about the engagement. So that's all the Star Wars ones out of the way. Thank you, actually, Manuel Morris, for saying congratulations. We've had quite a few congratulations
that's really sweet.
Twitter.
Thanks, guys.
And stuff like that. But in terms of Twitter, we've got a question of how did we meet, and that is from, let me figure it out, where is it from? It's from Hale on Twitter. How did we meet? Do you want to tackle this? How did we meet?
So, we actually, right, okay, there was one time. Do you want the unofficial meeting or the official one, or both?
Let's go with the official.
The official.
What went down?
I'll just put some context into the unofficial meeting then. So one of my really good friends is the girlfriend of one of Matthew's really, really good friends, and he was like walking, like my friend's boyfriend was walking with like these two guys. One of them was Matthew, I didn't know that at the time. And I was just like, oh hiya, how are you? You know, in the passing, and then you didn't really say anything because quite shy.
I seen a girl looking at my weight, and at that point I just froze. I was like,
yeah, you just looked to the floor.
I can't do this.
But anyway, so that was like our first kind of unofficial meeting. But officially, little did we know the way, like from that would be here. It was mental. But anyway,
in Anstruther specifically.
Waiting on the fish and chips. You know, waiting on the catch of the day. You know.
You're on the catch of the day. Playing the cards right.
There's a deck right up there. Just throw them at you. So officially, we actually met on like a sort of blind date type thing. We knew
it wasn't with Cilla Black though. We cannot stress that enough.
No. Not to name drop her or that. No. It was like a blind date, like, but not technically a blind date. We'd known what each other looked like on Facebook. Like my friend, who is Matthew's friend's girlfriend, feel like we should just say their names. So my friend Shannon is the girlfriend of Matthew's friend Stephen. Okay, there we go. That makes it a little bit less. So Shannon was trying to get me to meet Matthew. She was showing me his picture on Facebook and saying, oh, he's such a nice guy, he's so funny and he's so sweet and a really genuine guy, you'll get on really nice with him, he's quite shy, he's not, you know, arrogant and things like that, so I'll get along with him really, really well and stuff. She genuinely thought he was hilarious as well. And I was like, no, I'm okay, I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. But she pushed it. She was quite persistent. She pushed it and pushed it. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll meet him. So Stephen was trying to get him to meet me behind, like, on your side as well, showing you pictures. And so we eventually agreed to have a date, like a sort of blind, well, it wasn't really a blind date, we eventually decided to meet up in a little pub, but because we're both really quite socially awkward and shy and stuff, we took Shannon and Stephen with us, so that if we didn't know what to say at one point, then at least we'd have people there that we knew to talk to, because we're absolutely terrible socially.
And I was casually just drinking beer before it.
She was just knocking back the beers to try and calm the nerves, you know.
Imagine if you met me and I was just totally drunk. I was like Palpatine. Execute Order 66.
But yeah, and you know, so Matthew's nerves were already calm by then, mine wasn't, so I was like hiding behind my menu, like, you know, the drinks menu, that to my friend Shannon, like, am I doing okay? Like, is this going okay? What do you think? What did I do? What should I ask him? What should I say?
Talk about Star Wars.
So yeah, and so we just were like asking each other questions, like, oh, what do you do? And just getting to know each other, really, eh? And ever since that day, we've literally spoken every single day. Yeah, it's been really good. So yeah, that's how we officially met and unofficially met.
And we've got a few follow-up questions from that. So we've got a few questions here from a good YouTube friend of mine, Sarah. You might remember we drank tea for the first time. You thought it was kind of weird. That
I know,
it took
see,
me like,
yeah.
What age was that?
Like
it was only last year. It would have been 20. It took me like 20 years to try tea.
And that's just not okay, because I'm a big tea Jenny myself and I love a cup of tea. I absolutely love a cup of tea. And then the first time I ever went to your house, I was like, right, I'm bringing tea bags, you need to drink tea, and he doesn't like it, so I'm not going to force it upon him anymore. That's a shame.
I just prefer coffee.
And then that's fine by me, because then I can drink even more tea. I don't need to share my tea bags with you.
But anyway, she asks, who wears the trousers in our relationship? And two laughing faces. And no one actually does. No one bosses the other person around. No one's
the sole decision maker.
Although it would be nice sometimes, you know, when we're like, oh, what film should we pick? What should we have to eat? We need someone to stand up and this is what's happening.
Because we're like, oh no, what do you want to watch? And he's like, oh no, what do you want to watch? I'm like, seriously, I want to watch what you want to watch.
It's like a battle of consideration.
I know. So we both kind of make the decisions, and you know, I think it's healthier that way though, because you know, I don't think it's great when one person bosses someone about, so to speak, and makes all the decisions and says, this is what we're doing it now, whether you like it or not, kind of thing. And I think it just shows that we respect each other, that we both make decisions together and things, you know. If we ever,
it's probably the best policy, just be chill.
Yeah, we always just kind of like run stuff by each other if we're doing something, like, oh, by the way, I'm going out with the lads, or I'm like, alright, have a nice time. And you know, I'm not like, no, you must stay home with me because I need your attention and affection all the time. No, like, you know, we're just pretty chilled out, and yeah, just kind of go with the flow, really.
And fun fact, I'm not actually wearing trousers. No, I am. I don't want to sound like a creep. Look, I am.
Yes, definitely wearing trousers.
Because like people that like do videos like these that film from the waist up, you have that niggling thought in the back of your head, like, are they wearing pants?
They could be wearing just tights or something, you know.
But yeah. And I'll look show my Star Wars Chewbacca socks. Oh, you see, my feet.
No one wants to see your socks. No, I don't want to smell your feet. Still.
So yeah. Got your favourite character on my feet.
On his feet, right in my face. That looks very uncomfortable.
It is. Unbelievably hurts.
Stop doing it then, you rad.
But anyway, our second question is she obsessed with Star Wars as me? And I don't think that would physically be possible.
No, that's not possible. I don't have Star Wars socks and Star Wars everything in my room. I don't have a big case of Star Wars books. No.
You are quite passionate about Harry Potter though. If there's a franchise to pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind Star Wars. I would watch it and stuff like that, but I'm not obsessed. And I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. I do enjoy Harry Potter, don't get me wrong. Got the Gryffindor socks, you know, Slytherin, Hufflepuff. I'm actually a Hufflepuff myself. That's kind of heartbreaking because they don't really know what this all means, so never mind. But to be fair, I do have a slight obsession with a film called Calamity Jane. It's my favourite film ever. It's like a
1956 or something?
1951 or something like that. 1959.
It'd be funny if I got that right
anyway.
and you did it.
Oh gosh, I can't remember. It came out in the 1950s, Doris Day, old country western,
do you want me
green
to search
screen.
this? I'm searching with
and I absolutely love it. Up here, like give it a wee Aldi, sing all the songs. I pretty much know the script word for word. It's my absolute ultimate favourite.
Oh, it's 53. Damn
1953. So I've got a bit of an unhealthy obsession.
It's quite an old one, but yeah, we watched it. It was quite.
Yeah,
the songs are pretty good. They're pretty catchy.
I love it.
If you watch it, you'll just feel like
what is this
singing
rubbish?
all the score the whole time.
You know, I do have a passion. It's not necessarily Star Wars but like, you know, I love science and I have a microscope, like an actual proper microscope at home with slides of like blood and nerve cells and bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus and Micrococcus luteus, and I've got like bits of plants like stem cells and stuff like that. Although stem cells are probably the most boring kind because they're just unspecialised, you know, but that's okay. And I absolutely love that. I have an absolute passion for science, so I think that's probably my obsession. Calamity Jane and science.
And our last question here is, what do you actually think of my channel? Do you like it?
Channel?
There is an engagement on the line here, just saying if you want to just pick me up a bit.
I think that's a bit rude, by the way. You know, love aside, this is what counts a YouTube channel. Do you know what, right? See, when I first started, the first time we met and I was asking you about what you did and you told me that you did YouTube, and I was actually very, very intrigued by that because it was something very, very different. I thought you'd just have like, you know, like, oh, I'm just at college or whatever, like, that's what I was, I'm pretty boring, but I thought that was really, really interesting because no one, it's not, I mean, it's becoming more and more common these days, but it's just something really unusual that I'd never heard of someone doing before, and the fact that it was on Star Wars kind of hooked me in. So not that I'm a massive fan of it, it's just I love really nerdy, geeky people, like, they're my kind of people, you know. I don't like these big, arrogant, macho men. It's like, like, no, I prefer like more down to earth, genuine, nerd guys. So it really actually drew me in actually, and I was really intrigued by it, and I'm very, very flattered now that he lets me be a part of them, and you all have to look at this face, you know, what a pity on you, but yeah, I'm very touched that you want me to be a part of it, and I think that's really sweet. But yeah, I do like the fact that you do YouTube. I find it very interesting.
And we have two.
And we're still engaged.
We have some questions about the wedding now. So we'll talk about the wedding and then perhaps the engagement too, or maybe we'll save the engagement for another video because this is pretty long.
I did the engagement. There was a few mishaps, but yeah.
So
we'll quickly rattle through these.
We have a question from Angus McCall. When is the wedding going to be, and who is your best man? Who is your best man?
Well, I think that's aimed at you, that question.
I'd probably go with my brother, to be fair. Very close to my brother.
Yeah.
He also gives incredible speeches as well.
And me and your brother get along like a house on fire as well, which is great. So yeah, we just sit and talk about
science. If my friends are watching this, no offence.
And the wedding, we're thinking about 3 years' time. It gives us time to save and really plan what we want and things like that.
And that kind of links to another question, our final question here, is about the wedding cake. Will there be Star Wars? Will it be a Star Wars wedding cake? Will there be any Star Wars themes going on? And that is from Raghuvar Vasudev. I'm awful at these names, so don't know how to pronounce these names. But I don't think there will be. I don't want to be one of those couples that like forces things down their guest neck. Like, you want like Star Wars.
We make joint decisions here, so I think you're considerate of other people and not just in the relationship as well. He doesn't like to force things down people's throats. But I mean, I don't think we're actually going to have a theme at all. I think we just want something that's just simple and elegant. The cake has to have
the vanilla sponge, the cream, the jam though. That is incredible.
That's incredible. That's my favourite cake. So
yeah.
But you know,
whether or not it's going to have a ham layer. Or,
who knows? But I think to say we're going to have like a couple of tiers so that if people don't really like
there will be tiers on the day.
The vanilla one will be the bottom tier because that's our favourite, and then we'll have like a chocolate one. You know. For other people, I guess, will be considered it, But so it's just going to be like a sort of simple, themed, like elegant wedding. You know, it's going to be quite intimate, just close friends and family, and in about 3 years' time, we hope. Yeah,
and how we got engaged and the whole fiasco behind that and the funny story, we'll save that for our next video
because we're probably boring you at this point,
plus
guys.
My camera battery's flashing profusely. It's
I
just
know, I've noticed that as well. So I guess we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah. I hope it's still recording. It is still recording, just. So no, we'll be in the middle of the story. It's like, and then this is a really funny part.
Oh,
But I hope we've not cheated you as a result. But if you have any more questions, by the way, either leave them in the comments down below. You could ask us on Twitter as well, or for Patreons for $1 a month at least, you guys will get priority, and we'll make sure to definitely answer your questions. So if we get loads of questions, we'll prioritize your guys' stuff as well, because money. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed it, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for voting me back again as well, by the way.
We did put that as a poll.
Yeah, we did put that as a poll, so I really, really appreciate it. You're probably regretting it now.
Yeah, it's great to have you, Charlene.
Because I chat a bunch of guff, and this mush isn't the best, so...
This mush?
This mush, it's like a
I thought you were talking about me there.
No, this mush, it's like a Scottish word for face, but however. Anyway.
But hopefully you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
Leave a like, subscribe, and other stuff. I always forget stuff. I'm really bad at saying bye in videos, but
if it's not got a script in front of them.
That's going to be it for today's video.
See you later, guys, and thank you so much for watching.
Smell my socks!
That's plenty stop! You want me a cooked tea now? Because I'm starving!
I am parched for food.
Famished.